Hi, dear creatives. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate your your encouragement, your prayers. It's so amazing to be here with you once again. My name is Adela, Creative Director Aliod by Ruby. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a siname base without molding. Okay, many of you know that the most of the bases we have, which are siname, are molded. All right, so today I'm going to teach you how to make a round base without molding. And here are the materials you'll be needing for this project. Okay, I have my siname right here. You will need siname for this project. Your net is optional, okay, just in case you want to cover your cinnamon or you just want to use it for embellishment. Okay, so I'll be using this net for my design. I have my scissors, I have matching thread, and my needle right here. I have this felt, and this is going to serve as my template. Now this is optional. You can decide to use paper. If you don't have a felt fabric at home, you can just use white paper. Just trace out how big you want your base to be, but I want a small base that can just sit at the side of the head. So I'm going to be using this template. I have my crinoline, and this is 2 yards right here. I have my office pins. I have my butterfly embellishment. I'm going to be using either this butterfly or this fluffy flower right here, depending on how it looks on the outcome of the fascinator. Okay, so I need my elastic band. You can also use Alice band, and I have my light wire right here. You can also use the normal millinery or fascinator wire. Okay, but because this is just a light a small base, I prefer to use this light wire. So quickly, let's get started. Welcome back. So I have my cinnamon folded. Okay, so because I'll be using double. Okay, so I have it folded, and I also placed my net fabric on top of it right here because I'm going to be cutting it out. So I'm going to secure it with my office pin so that when I'm cutting, it does not come off, so it stays in place. Okay, as it is, then I'm going to use my scissors to trace this out. Okay, so I've cut it out right here. I'm going to use my office pin to hold it in place this way. Just secure it so that it does not move. Let office pin be your friend, okay? It saves you a whole lot of stress and helps you stay away from mistakes. Okay, so I have it right here, and I'm going to measure 2 inches. 2 inches away from the edge right here, and I'll mark. So from this part, from the 2 inches, I'm going to cut. Okay, I'm cutting this way. And then I'm going to apply my glue just to this edge right here. I'll leave this glue to dry a little, and then I place this opening on each other. Okay, so I've glued the open part, and this is what I have right here. Okay, so now I'm going to start attaching my wire, and I have my thread already made right here. Don't make your thread too thick. You can just make it 4 lines. It's perfect. So I'm going to place it just at the tip of it right here, and then I'll start to attach. I'm going to do this as it is right now, and I'm going to do it all around the circle till I get to the other end. It's quite simple and very easy, but you just need to take your time. And please be careful of the sharp edges of the crinoline, of the siname rather, so it does not cut your thread while you are tacking in your wire. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tack it all around till I get to the other end. And when I'm through, I will show you how it looks like. Can you see how it looks? Okay, do not take your thread far away from the wire, and at the same time make sure you pick both the fabric and the two cinnamies at the same time while you are tacking. So quickly I'll go ahead and tack this all around, and then I'll move to the next step. Alright, so here I have my base and I've tacked the wire all around from one end to the other. Okay, this is how it looks. So I'm going to put this aside and go to the sinamay that I will use to cover the edges. So I'm going to be cutting the sinamay on bias. All right, I've placed it in a triangular form this way, and I'm going to mark 1 inch. Now please note that placing your sinamay on bias helps your help it stays on the edge very easily. Okay, so it's very important. You need to learn this technique. Just go ahead and place it in a triangular form and then mark the way I'm doing exactly, and I'm going to cut this out. So just mark 1 inch, unfold from one end to the other, and then cut it out. Okay, so as it is, after cutting my 1 inch, I folded the two sides inward. This is side 1 right here, and this is the second side right here. So I'm going to be folding it 3 times. I folded it once, I folded the other edge, which is fold 2, and then I'm going to fold it the 3rd time. Okay, so that the 2 edges can come together. So I'm folding it this way, and I'm going to iron it. All right, so for it to be very easy for me to iron, I'm just folding it with my hands, so that when I get to the ironing table, I just press down on it. Okay, so this is how our sinamay strip, sinamay bias strip should look like. All right, so I'm going to go to the ironing table and straighten this out just to make it very flat and easy for it to lay on the base. Okay, you can also stretch this out. Can you see it's stretchy because it's already on bias? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and press this, and then we'll get to the next stage, which is covering the edge of our base. Okay, so I have my bias strip right here, and I'm going to put this aside, and I want you to pay attention to this part because I'm going to be using this part at the back as my back rather. So I'm going to be starting from the back part, so I can start and end at the back, so that this place will not have to be showing the joining parts of the bias. So I'm going to place my bias open a little, apply my glue in between. Okay, I'm going to do that till I get to the end of the strip because it's a short strip. Okay, I'm going to apply it and leave it to dry before I finally place it on the edges of my base. It's best for you to allow your glue to dry a little bit before you put it in place. Okay, so I'm going to apply this now, leave it to dry a little, and then I'll just glue it to the base. Okay, so I've started gluing it down. Okay, and I'm going to just cover up the end right here. Okay, hold it in place for it to dry. You can leave this as it is, just apply glue underneath this open part for it to relax, or you can just take it to the sewing machine and just stitch on it like this. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine. First of all, I can just go ahead and apply my glue to hold it in place, and then I can still go ahead and take it to the sewing machine and press it down. All right, welcome back. So there was no need for me to stitch anymore because, as you can see, it's laying very firm on the base. Okay, it does not have any opening whatsoever. If you're making this for yourself, you can use this technique, but if you're making this for your clients, please go ahead and take the pin to sew this down. All right, but this is fine and it's also perfect for me. So now I'm going to attach my elastic band. Like I said, you can use Alice band also for this part. So this is the back of my fascinator and this is going to be the front. All right, so I'm going to attach my elastic band towards the back of this fascinator this way, so that by the time you put it on your head, you still have allowance for this to sit almost at the forehead. All right, so I'm going to attach it with my hand needle and thread. And another reason why you should attach to the back of your base is so that if you want to embellish, you attach your Alice band or your elastic band first of all, so that any thread showing upward can be covered with your embellishment. Okay, so your embellishments can cover up the attachment stitch. Okay, so you don't have, so you can eventually have a neat finishing. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so as it is, I'm still attaching, and when I'm done, I will show you how it looks like, and then we'll move to the next stage. Okay, I've attached my elastic band and I'm just going to cut a circle as it is. It's preferable for you to use black felt or black scuba or any black fabric. Just use it to cover up this part. You can improvise, okay? Just go ahead and cover it up. Do not leave your stitch open for whatever reason, okay? So I'm going to leave this to dry a little and I'm just going to cover it up this way. So it's dry a little bit and I'm just going to use it to cover up so you can achieve neat finishing. All right, so I'm going to leave it for a while for it to settle in and then I move to the next stage. Okay, so now this is my base. I'm going to put this aside. Okay, it's totally dry, and then we'll go to our embellishment. Now for your crinoline rose, to make your rose, you're going to tie one edge of your crinoline right here, and I applied the glue to this end to secure it. Okay, so it's dry and I have my needle and thread right here. So I'm going to start by rolling the edge, and as I'm rolling, I'm going to be tacking. Make sure you use a matching thread for this, but I'm using a gold thread because this is just practice. Okay, this is a tutorial and I want the thread to be visible for you to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to continue to roll it, and as I'm rolling, I'm going to be pleating, meaning I'll take it back this way and bring it forward again, and then I tack. Make sure you tack before you move again, and I'm going to be tacking it 2 to 3 times before I continue. Okay, I'll roll it twice, pleat, okay, and tack. That is basically the technique. Roll it twice, pleat, and then I tack 3 times. And this is how I'm going to do it. And you see, it's already forming my rose board. Roll it twice, pleat, and then you tack. So I'm going to continue this pattern, and as you are going on with it, it's going to start forming your rose. Okay, so I'm going to continue, and when I get to this part somewhere around here, then I'll show you what to do next. So from this point right here, I'm going to stop picking the 2 edges. I'm going to just start picking the one beneath right here. So I'm going to roll it, roll, pleat, and tack. Okay, then I roll. As you can see, it has started opening up this way. So I'm going to continue like that. I'll roll it, pleat it. Okay, you roll, you pleat. This time make your pleats bigger and then you tack. So that's how I'm going to continue till I get to the end so that I can have a little rose in between and then a wider rose outward right here. Okay, so I'm going to continue till I get to the end and then I'll show you what to do next. So this is how it looks. I'm almost getting to the end right here and I'm just folding it this way. You tack. Make sure you hold it properly while tacking. Okay, so this is my rose board right here. Can you see how it looks? I wanted a larger one and a smaller one in between. So I'm quickly going to go ahead and show you how to attach this to our fascinator base. Welcome back. So this is my rose, crinoline rose, and this is my base. So it's time for us to couple these two pieces together. And before you do so, make sure you fit it on the dummy head or on your head for you to know how this is going to fit on top of the base. For me, I found a way and it's going to be this way. Don't forget this is the back. So I'm using this part right here to cover this back here. Okay, don't forget that my Alice band is this way. Okay, and this is going to be in front. So I'm going to be tacking with my needle and thread. Now this tacking has to be very, very light. If you notice, I'm placing it from the top right here. Okay, and at the back I'm going to be stitching it right on top of where the needle or the thread came out from. This way your thread does not show underneath your base. I'll go back to the top right here, move a little bit, make sure you are checking that your crinoline is aligning properly. Okay, I'll pull my thread again inside, pull it out from the back, okay, and I'm taking the thread back from where it came out from. So this is the method I'm going to use to tack this down so that I can have neat finishing under my base. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this quickly and I'll show you that you cannot find any thread showing beneath my base. Okay, so this is it. I've tacked it and I'm going to tie my knot up here, not beneath, up, because this place is going to be covered. Okay, I'm going to tie my knot this way on top of it. Okay, always consider neat finishing. It's very, very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to cut the excess thread and tie my final knot. And I'm going to be doing that 2 times before I finally cut it off. Okay, so this is the front right here and this is the back. It's still looking very rough, so like I said, I'm going to be using one of my embellishments to cover this up. Okay, so I found out that there was another way for me to embellish this that's still going to come out very beautiful. So I have the leftover of my nets and I just cut it in a rectangular shape, and I'm going to be folding it in the middle this way just to form a cute bow. Okay, I'm going to tie it with the rope, with the thread rather. Just tie it in the middle. Alright, so after tying it in the middle, I'm going to cover it up with a trimming. But before then, I will tie this as it is and cut it off. Okay, this is my bow right here. And I have this beautiful embellishment here that I can just use to cover it up in the middle. So I'll just attach my glue to this trimming, and then I'm going to use it to cover it up. Don't forget, allow your glue to dry a little before you use. So this is a little bit dry and I'm going to cover it up this way. Cover it towards the back so you can have a neat front. Okay, so I have my bow right here. You can go ahead and try any method. Like I always say, embellishment is unique to your style. Okay, so here is my bow, and I'm just going to fit it right here with my hot glue. Okay, it's going to stay around here, or probably at the back. You can put it behind, but I prefer for it to stay here. Okay, so I'm going to fit it with my hot glue gun right now, and then finally I'm going to attach my butterfly to the back to cover up this part. Okay, so that when you are turning, you are seeing the embellishments at the back, and also when it's facing you, you can also see a beautiful rose crinoline base and also a bow. But it's not, this is optional. Okay, this is very optional. You can go ahead and use any method of choice that you want. You can still leave it like this. Okay, some people like it simple, some like it very loud and very busy. Okay, so here is my beautiful fascinator right here. This is my bow. Okay, and this is the front, and this right here is the back, like the butterfly is trying to fly away. Okay, so here is how it looks. This is the final outcome of our beautiful turban. I hope you have gotten value from this class. Go ahead and drop your comments, your questions. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any difficulty. Drop your questions. I'll be there to answer all of them. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. See you next class. I remain Adiola once again. Bye for now.